Good day, everyone. My name is Danny Wong, and I'm the Tech Support Engineer from SuperGIS Technical Support and Training Center. Today, our topic is Edit Data Online, which brings out our agenda with this today. In this lesson, we're going to go through the quick introduction of online editing in SuperGIS. We're going to show you how to set up the project in desktop and publish with the server as a feature service, which allows users to connect to it and do some online editing. Three different demonstrations will be shown, which is actually to do the online editing with the web application published by the SuperGIS server, and also on editing with the SuperGIS Desktop, and also with the mobile platform as the SuperPad and SuperSurv. So what is the online editing? The online editing is actually a service that's published by the SuperGIS server, provided by it, and will allow users to do the online editing and real-time editing and all with the map data on the server side through the internet service. And will allow editing features published by the SuperGIS server, such as the adding you want to delete and modifying all the features. The benefit of the online editing provided by the SuperGIS server is actually it helps to save the storage space of the server, and also all the data can be synchronized and shared through the mechanism of the online editing, which you can see on the right hand side. We have a graphics, and the service which provided by the SuperGIS server can be published into the internet, and user can use all different kinds of a different client like a SuperGIS Desktop or the mobile device such as a SuperPad, or you can use a web browser to connect to the service and do some modifying. And let's talk a little about the SuperGIS server, which is actually a key element for doing the online editing. All the service will have to be published by the SuperGIS server, and it helps user to contain some of the different management tools and help user to publish the GIS web app service and varieties of different client applications, create the cache map, help your user to create a cache map, and also it support different kind of the extensions. So with the SuperGIS server, you can integrate the geographic information from different GIS servers and be easy to use and intuitive GIS service, and also help users to share your collection of the geographic information and also the geoprocesses via the internet or the intranet. So this is going to be our demonstration, and we are going to show you from the very beginning to publish the service. It's actually a feature service to the SuperGIS server, and also we're going to show you how to edit the data online by three different kinds of the platform, which is actually the web application, the SuperGIS Desktop, and also the mobile platform, which is actually a SuperPad and SuperSurv. Steps for the online editing is quite simple, that we contain 7 different kinds of steps. And the first step is actually we have to define the project and the layer which you want to edit, and also to save the map design as a HTTP file, and launch the SuperGIS Server Manager to publish the map service. And after finish preparing, you also have to set up the service as a feature service, which is quite important, and to decide whether the different layer you want to edit or not. And the 6 and the 7 is actually to create a web application to edit and to use other different kind of the client to connect and to do some editing. So the preparation before you start up publishing is quite important, and also before you do the online editing, you have to make sure that you have a SuperGIS server installed, and also the IE installation and firewall setting, and you have to also to prepare different kind of a client such as SuperGIS Desktop, or you want to use a web application, or you want to use a mobile application. So this is section 1. The section 1 we're going to talk about to publish the feature service. So what is needed for a feature service? What our target is, the layer data has to be added online. So all the layer and the data and has to be designed and put it in the single project file and published into a server environment. So what we're going to do here is actually going to prepare the layer data and publish with the server environment, and allow user to connect to the specific service, and that user can make change to the data within the service. So this is our procedure. We're going to set up the project and create a new service and configure it into a feature service and publish an Ultra website. So within the first part, we're going to do is actually to design the map, which you can see within the graph, that we design the map and we put in all different kind of a different layer, and we do some changes of the symbology and save it with the SGD file. And the fourth simple step to publish a feature service, you can to publish the map service as a publish it, and also do some configuration within the map service and select it into the feature service, and you have to switch into the editing tab and check the use feature service box and the editable layers. And after that, you can simply click the done button to finish publishing the feature service. So this is quite simple, that you can simply entering the SuperGIS Server Manager after you finish the project file, and you can enter in the service and select the publish a map service here. And so here you can simply enter in the name, the title, and the document you're going to use. And after that, after finish publishing, you can configure about the publish service, which you can find out there's a little button. There's a button here. You can select the different service and hit the config button here for more detail, which you can see they will jump out the little setting pages that allow you to do some more details. That we're going to need is actually to activate the feature service of the service you just published. So we're going to switch into the editing tab and click on the use feature service here and select the editable layer which you want that the online editing service could be added. And after that, you can simply hit the application button and create a new web application as an Ultra website, and hit the create button and do some more changes, do some more detail setting, and hit the done button, which create you a website. Which now I'm going to show you how to do this part. So in this part, we're going to do is switch to our server environment here, which you can see now. I have already done with my SGD file, which you can see this. I have changed all different kind of the symbology, which is quite clear that you can see now. And this is actually the England and and this area. So what I'm going to do now is to save this file and publish with the feature service. So I'm going to save. And this is going to be a little SGD file here. And now I'm going to open it up my server manager, which you can see within the server here. You can find out the SuperGIS Server Manager, which you hit it, and it will open it up as the web environment. So I'm going to hit in the man and the password, right, and log in. So now you can see this is the new server manager with the SuperGIS Server 3.2, which will show up the little server status, which inform you that now the mapcap server is stopped and the container is good. It is okay, and also the workspace. Now what I'm going to do is actually to enter in the service here. And now you can see this is the service we now contain. And what I'm going to do is to add a new one with the project I just built. So I'm going to give it a name. Online editing. And also the title going to be the same. And in the document here, I'm going to select the document just saved. So I believe it's within here. And yes, this one. Okay, you can check it again that this is this one, and this is the one I'm going to use, and select the publish button. So now you can see that your service has been published. And after that, you can select the service you just published and enter in the config, which allowed us to do some more detail setting, which now I'm going to switch into the editing tab here and turn on the use feature service, which allows user to use the feature service, and you can decide the editable layer down here, which I'm going to click it. I'm going to allow all of them, and you can switch between different layers if you want allow user to edit or not. And here, after that, you can hit the done button. And now you're finished. You're now finished to publish the feature service. And also what we're going to do is to switch into the application tab here and to generate a new Ultra website, which you can see the default one is the Ultra, and create. This is our new web design for the SuperGIS Server 3.2, which is, you can see, is quite new. I'm going to hit the create button and give it a name. Online editing demo. Okay, good. And here you can switch between different available map service, which now I'm going to use this one. This one is what I use for. And you have to make sure that if you want your website can support the online editing, you have to select this one, the use feature service. You have to turn it on. And when you finish this, you can hit the next button and hit the done button. It will tell you that the web page is created successfully. You can hit OK. Now I'm going to stop within these pages, and we're going to back to the slide. Right. So this is going to be the section 2, is to do the online editing with the website. So what is needed to edit the layer on the website? Our target is to do the online editing on the web application, which is actually the Ultra website we just built. And so a compatible browser to link to the website is quite important. You can use different kinds of browser that support. And the step we're going to do is actually to link to the website that published by the server and turn on the editing tool to do some edit. Also, you can, after we finish the editing, we can save the result immediately just after the editing. So what we're going to do, the procedure is to link to the website and turn on the editing tool and edit and save. And you so now, and after that, you can check the results. So to open up the Map Your web application pages, you can simply just stop with the pages we just created. It will contain the URL, or you can connect to the site directly. And also, this is quite useful that you can connect to the pages. And within the pages, you will find out there's a toolbar on the top, which you can see here. This is a toolbar, and after that, there are editing tool. So you can simply just hit on the editing tool, and it will simply just jump out the template picker that allows you to switch between different layers you want to edit. This is also a new feature within the SuperGIS Server 3.2. And you can simply select by the template picker and select and do some editing on the map. And if you finish it, you can simply hit entering the different attribute and hit the update button, so it will automatically save the data immediately onto the feature service itself on the server. So now what we're going to do is to switch back to our web application here and do some demo. Which you can see, this is our URL here. I'm going to open it in the new tab. So now you can see that this is just the service we just published. So now I'm going to zoom in a bit, which is around here, and zoom in a bit. Okay, this is quite good. So the first part we're going to do is to find out the toolbar, which you can see that I'm using the zoom in button here. And also we're going to use this one, this edit tool. So you hit it and it will jump out the template picker, which allows you to switch between different layers you want to edit, because it will allow all the layers that we can be editable. So you can switch like this one. You can switch between different kind of the different layer. And now I'm going to build in a new urban area. So I'm going to switch, use my cursor to switch this layer and do some editing out on the map. So on the map, you can simply just hit on the map like this. You can enter in different vertex, and if you finish, you can double click as you double click, it will show up all the vertex you just add and ask you to fill in the different attribute you want to use. Like this one, I'm going to hit it a 0, and this is a 1, and this is a 2, whatever you want. And if you finish, you can hit the update button. So you will now find out that the feature has been added onto the map. Now this is very easy, and also if you want to switch between different feature and switch between different layer you want to edit, you can simply just use this function to switch between different layer. And also if you use this button, that allowed you to select the different feature you want to use, and it is very useful tool that you can use. Now we're going to switch back to our slide. This is our slide here. So it is very easy to use the online editing tool within our web application. It is very easy, and you can simply use it with ease. Now the section 3 is actually we're going to do the online editing with the SuperGIS Desktop. So how to edit layer online with the SuperGIS Desktop? Our target is to do the online editing. We want to do the editing and save all the data back to the server. So there's a little module going to need with the SuperGIS Desktop is the SuperGIS Server Desktop Client. You can simply just download it from our website and install it, so your desktop will be allowed you to connect to the SuperGIS server. And so the step we're going to do is to link to the feature service on the server and create a local copy for editing. This is quite important and quite different with the web application. And after that, you can simply just use the format edit tool to do some editing with the data. And finally, we can synchronize all the edits result back to the server. So this is going to be our procedure. We can link to the service first, and then we can create a local copy. And we do some of the different editing with a local copy and sync back the data after we finish. So you have to install the little module tool, which is actually a SuperGIS Server Desktop Client, which you can simply just find it on our website and turn it on as this one. And you can simply enter in the server configuration and add in the server properties, which you can hit the add button and add in the different property, which the machine, you can simply type in the IP and the username and the password. And after that, you can connect to your server and switch between different services you want to use and hit the add layer button, so all the layer will be added into your desktop environment. And also, before you start to do the online editing, you have to create the local copy for the editing, which allows you to switch between the edit target you want to use and hit the OK button. So the local copy of the layer will be built within your SuperGIS Desktop, and then you can use the editing tool just normally to edit all the data. And after you finish, stop editing, save edit, and then you can synchronize all the edits with the SuperGIS server. This is going to be all the workflow, which now I'm going to switch to the SuperGIS server desktop here, which you can see this is our SuperGIS Desktop. So you have to make sure that you have to install a little module called the SuperGIS Server Desktop Client before you start to do the online editing with the SuperGIS Desktop. So as you turn it on, so now you can see there's a server button here. Tap on it to enter in the server configuration. So it simply just open up a little windows that ask you, you can simply just tap in all the different data of all the different services you want to connect, which is this. And the first part I'm going to do is to connect to our server here. So I'm going to hit the add button and enter in the username and password and also the IP. This is going to be the IP. Okay, this is quite good, and hit the OK button. It will ask you whether you want to save the config file. I'm going to give it a name as a 23. So, okay, good. So now I'm connecting to the server, which is built-in, which is published the service. So now you can see this is the service I just published. So then this one, and also you can get a preview, and also you can add layer. So now you can see now that this is the service we just built and all the layers contained within the online editing. But before we start up to do the online editing, it is quite important that we have to we have to create a local version of the different layer. So what I'm going to do is right click on the online editing here and select the edit feature and select here, create local copy for editing. Hit it. So this is going to be an option of the local copy. You can use the current display, or I'm not going to use the extend filter. And also the edit target, you can switch between different edit target, which I'm going to select all of them and hit the OK button. So it will create a local copy from the server. It will download all the data from the server. So now you can see this is editable now. And what I'm going to do is to start editing and switch between different layer you want to use. If you haven't created a local copy, it won't allow you to do the online editing. You have to make sure that you create a local copy. So what I'm going to do is to zoom in a bit, which you can see. This is the place of the United Kingdom here. You can see this is quite clear. And what I'm going to do is to do some editing within this part. Zoom into the full extent. Okay. Now this you can see now that this is the editing result. I'm going to do some little editing with the urban area. I'm going to put it here that you can see it very clearly. So I'm going to use the pencil button and do a little area out on the side. So now you can see this has been the new feature, and what I'm going to do is to save the edit and stop editing. So now you can see the data has been added, which I'm going to move it on. So now you can see now, I'm sorry, that has been blocked within the the different layer. So this thing you can see now that I have already built in one of here, and also if you want to build in another, and you can build in another. If you want to build another, you can simply just turn it on and tap here and do some more. So now you can see this has been a new feature, and also you can simply entering the attribute if you want. So now you can see here, this is the attribute you want to build in. Like you can build in with the 4, and this is going to be maybe 5 or something. And after that, you can simply just save edit and stop editing. But you have to make sure that it's very important. You have to send back all the data back to the server. So to send back all the data back to the server, it is quite important that you have to synchronize all the data back to the server. So you can, within here, the online editing here, the service, edit service, you can synchronize edit with SuperGIS server. So hit it, and let's check our result. Now I'm going to remove the local one and remove the online editing here. I'm going to hit add in the service again. So this one, I'm going to add in the layer. So now you can see this is the new feature we just entered within the feature service. This is a new feature we just add. And now we're going to back to our slide. So it is quite important that you have to create a local copy before you start on the online editing, and do the simple editing just as the offline one. You can simply just use the edit tool to do some editing, and don't forget to synchronize the edits with the SuperGIS server back. This is quite important. And this is going to be the section 4, which I'm going to show you how to do the online editing with the SuperPad. To how to do the online editing with the SuperPad, the target is going to turn on the SuperPad if we're going to out on the field, and we can have our device connect to the internet, so we can do some online editing when we're out on the field. And also we can download all the base map when we're doing the field survey, so it's going to be quite convenient. And you have to make sure that if you want to do the online editing, you have to turn on the SGS Online Edit Toolbar. This is actually an extension within the SuperPad. So the step is we're going to link to the feature service on the server and quick setup of the target layer. We can select between different target layer and use the edit tool to edit the layer and synchronize the edit result back to the server when finished immediately. So this is going to be our procedure. We can simply turn on the function and link to the service and do some quick setup of what the layer we're going to edit and edit the layer data and sync back the data immediately. It is very important you have to turn on the SGS Online Edit Toolbar .dll. This is actually an extension. You can find out in the setting of the SuperPad and switch between different tabs. You can find out there's a tab called the Customize, and after that you can find out a lot of different extensions within the SuperPad, and there you will find out there's an extension called the SGS Online Edit Toolbar .dll, this one, and you can turn it on and hit the OK, and the SuperPad will ask you to reboot the SuperPad, and the changes will be applied. And now you will find out there's a little tool as a cloud tool, and you can simply hit it and hit the SGS button here, and it will allow you to do some setting to connect to the SuperGIS server, which you can simply just enter in the IP and the username and the password. And after that, you can switch between different service, the service part and the different folder of the published, and switch between different published resources was actually a service, and after that you can hit it and load in all the map to your map screen. And also to set up the layer, you can switch between different layer you can want to edit. That this one you can switch between point, polyline, or a polygon, and also you can select the layer you want to delete. And also you can edit all the data with the tool, and to sync all the data, just finish when you finish editing. So to edit the attribute table is also a very important feature that you can use with the SuperPad to edit all the attribute and hit the OK button to finish. So we're going to open up our SuperPad for you, which you can see now. This is our SuperPad, and I have already turned on my toolbar here. If you want to turn on the SGS Online Editing toolbar, you can hit entering the setting button and hit the setting button here, which now you can see. And there's a tab called the Customize, which you can simply just click on this one, the SGS Online Edit Toolbar, the DLL. You can hit it, OK, and reboot your SuperPad, and so it will be applied. And after that, you will find out there's a cloud. There's a toolbar is a cloud-like icon. You can simply hit it and hit the SGS button here is actually to open from the SuperGIS server, which brings out a little screen that you can input the connection and the username and the password. Okay, it's our IP and also the ID and the password. And you don't have to enter in all the the HTTP or anything. You can simply just enter in the IP of the SuperGIS server, and after that hit the OK button, and we'll start up to connecting to our server here, which you can now see there's a publish folder. We just published our service as a root, so I'm going to hit OK, and this is all the resources, which is actually the service we can use, and it will tell you whether it is editable or not, which you can see now that this simple sample one cannot be editable, and we just published this one online editing here, it is editable. So I'm going to hit the OK button, and it will automatically generate download all the data for us within this map screen, which you can see we just built in two different features, which you can see very clearly, and also in the part of the here near the Newcastle, we just built in the new urban area. Now what I'm going to do is to show you how to do the online editing, and also I'm going to delete different features within this SuperPad. So I'm going to build a new feature service. I'm sorry, I'm going to build a new polygon here, which you can hit on the polygon button. And if you want to do some setting of the layer you want to edit, you can simply hit the setting button. And you can switch between different layer, that the point layer you want to edit and the polygon layer you want to edit. Now here, I'm going to edit the urban area here. And also you can switch between the layer you want to delete. I'm also going to switch into the urban area here. Hit OK. So now I'm going to entering a new urban area very near the new castle. So we'll use this tool, polygon tool, hit it. Okay, and once you finish, you can click on the tool again. It will ask you if you sure want to add this feature, and you hit yes. So now you can enter in the attribute. Going to be a 2 and here. Also the area, maybe 89 or something, I don't know. Okay, once you finish, hit the OK button. So now you will find out the feature has been updated to the server immediately just after you finish the data. You don't have to create any, the local layer or something. It's quite different with the SuperGIS Desktop. And now what I'm going to do is to move to the part that I'm going to delete. Now, if you want to delete a feature, you can use the delete feature, select feature to delete. You can hit on it and it will ask you, is this the feature you want to delete? This is the geometric code, and hit the OK button. It will ask you again whether you want to delete or not. I'm going to hit yes, so it has been deleted. And also I'm going to move around here a bit and use this function again to select this one and delete it. You can simply here all selection and OK, yes, so it will be deleted. I'm going to zoom into the full extent, so now you can see the urban area on the sea. Maybe it's it's actually a failure when you're doing the online editing, has been deleted, and it's very useful. So now that's back to our slide. So we just mentioned how to do the online editing with the SuperPad, which is very useful if you're using the SuperPad on the field, or you're using it to do some online editing. It's quite simple to use. And the final part, which I'm going to tell you, is actually section 5, the online editing with the SuperSurv. The SuperSurv is actually a mobile application that we specifically designed for the smartphone, a smart device like a tab or the smartphone, and it can be installed within the Android system or the iOS system. We have two different versions, and you can simply find them within the App Store or the Google Play. And so how to do the online editing with the SuperSurv, it is actually quite easy, and we can simply just set up the SGS setting to connect to the service. So what is going to be the step is that we're going to do some quick setting that connect to the SuperGIS server and to link to the feature service on the server. And then we select the target layer we want to edit, just same as the offline editing with the SuperSurv. We use the survey function, the survey tool, to do this, and also we're going to edit the data and send back all the results to the server immediately. So this is our procedure. We're going to do some quick setup with the SGS server, with the SuperGIS server, and also we're going to link to the service and edit the layer data and send back the data just after we finish editing. So to do a quick setup for the SGS, which is actually the SuperGIS server, and connect to the server for the server service is quite easy. You can simply just enter in the setting of the SuperSurv and add a new connection to the SuperGIS server which you built, and entering the name, the IP, and all the different information, and select the default service, and back to the main screen. You can simply use the server button on the screen that connect to the service. And to do some edit, you can simply use the survey tool. It's just same as the offline editing. Connect to the you can simply switch between different layer that connect to the SuperGIS server and immediately, and do some editing and do some deletion or add a new feature or something, and send the data back to the server immediately after you finish the editing. So now we're going to back to our device. I have connect my device to the computer here. So now we can see that this is our SuperSurv. And so the first thing we're going to do is you have to make sure that you turn on the SuperSurv, and you can build a new project, create a new project. Like I create my service as a WGS84. So this is going to be a WGS84 project. If you want to create a new one, you can tap on this button and select new project here, and select the new project. Hit OK. Entering the name like line. Okay. The thing. Okay, good. And also the special reference here. This is quite important that you can simply just match the project, the coordinate system, the project, the current system of the project, and also the online feature service. It has to be the same. So we can now simply select the WGS84 here. You can find out it's here. Tap OK, and hit OK again. So the new project has been created. Now I'm not going to set up the GPS because I'm connected to the Wi-Fi here. And you have to make sure before you set up the SuperGIS server that your machine has to be connected onto the internet. This is quite important because you want to do the online editing. So your machine, your mobile device, has to be connected to the internet. So I'm going to enter the setting again. Hit this button, enter in the setting here. And now you can see we can set up the SuperGIS server right here. You can tap on it and do some setting. We have the SuperGIS online as a default, but I'm not going to connect to it. I'm going to connect to my own server. So I'm going to hit this plus sign to add a new one and give it a name. I'm going to give it 23, and the server is actually dot and 2.23. Okay, this is going to be default, and I'm going to bit, and here is account. Okay, and the password here. Okay, good. Now I'm finished. And you want to display a password, you want to check it, you can simply hit this function, and with the OK button, we'll head back to this. And also, I'm going to set this feature, this service as the default. That's my favorite. That's my default. This is a default server now. And also, I'm going to set up the default service. So we're actually querying the service that contained with this server, which is this one. I'm going to use the online editing as my default service. You hit OK. And after that, you can head back. It will ask you if you want to save the settings or not. I'm going to hit yes and save all the settings. Confirm. And now I'm going to connect to the server, which you can find out that this is the server button here. I'm going to hit it. And you will find out, because here we're in Taiwan, I'm going to zoom into the full extent, which you can now see that yes, this is our feature service in the part of the England and the United Kingdom. And I'm going to zoom in a bit with my hand. So now you can see that here near the Newcastle, this is a place we just added in the new urban area. I'm going to zoom in a bit. Yeah, so now you can see quite clear that this is Newcastle and this is a new urban area we built with the SuperPad. So now I'm going to zoom in a bit. I'm going to move forward again a little bit, and we're going to add a new urban area near the Edinburgh here. Okay, so I'm going to add in a new urban area here. So what I'm going to do the online editing is actually to hit the survey button, and hit the edit layer, which I'm going to select between the different layer. We can do the online editing, which is here. This is a service which you're using. Select it and hit OK. And here you can use the select between different service that you want to do the editing, which I'm going to use this one again, the urban area, and hit OK. And now the SuperSurv will be entering the edit mode. The edit mode will automatically open up the toolbar, the editing toolbar, and also some of the advanced edit options. So now what I'm going to do is to simply just click on the screen to create a new feature. I'm not going to use the GPS because we're not in England, and I'm just going to click on the screen, which you can see now. This is actually the new urban area I'm going to create near the Edinburgh. And once you finish, you can hit the OK button. So it will ask you whether you want to synchronize the data with the SuperGIS server or not. It will ask immediately, and after that you can enter in the attribute. I'm going to enter in it as 045 here, and OK, and square meter here. I'm going to hit it with the, maybe. Okay, this will be good. And once you hit the OK, which is actually to synchronize the data to the server, all the data will be transformed into the server immediately, which you can find out now. The feature has been created. Also, if you want to change it, you can use the little function, which is allowed you to select between different features. You can hit it, and the feature will be selected. And if you want to do some changes, you can delete, use the trash can to delete, or you want to edit the vertex. It will allow you to do some different, you want to move it or not, like maybe you want to move it, so you can simply just move. Oh, sorry, I just moved the base map. And you can simply use this button to do some reshape of the of your feature. And if you don't want it, you can simply, I'm just going to reshape it. Okay, quite good, like this one. And once you finish, okay, hit the OK button again, so you will find out. And it will ask you again, you want to synchronize the data with the SuperGIS server, which now you can see that the urban area has been reshaped. And once you want to close the edit mode back to the normal mode, you can hit the back button on your device. It will ask you whether you want to finish editing or not. You can hit the OK button, and now your SuperSurv has been back to the normal mode. And that's back to our device. Back to our slide here. So we just tell you how to do the online editing with SuperSurv. It's quite easy, and you can also do the editing download. You can simply connect to the service and use the server button to connect to the map service and show all the map and do some of the online editing, and the result will be saved into the server, will be synchronized to the server immediately after you finish the editing. So let's do some quick review with this lesson. We tell you we introduce of the online editing. We tell you what is online editing, and also the pros and cons. And also we tell you how to publish the feature service with the SuperGIS server and use different clients. Do some online editing with the web application, with the SuperGIS Desktop, SuperPad, and SuperSurv, which is very easy and to use, and all have the different operations, but it's very easy to use, and you can use this to save a lot more time when you're on the field. You want to do send back all the data back to the office for the officer to use. Is quite important, which is a very useful function. And thanks for your attention, and this is going to be the lesson today, and thank you for the extension. If you have any question, you can simply contact us at www.supergeotech.com, and also email us at staff@supergeotech.com. Thank you.